responding fire or rescue workers and their equipment. Do not re-enter the building until instructed to do so or given an all clear from the emergency response officer on duty. The safety leaflet is available at the security desk first floor for your further reference. Please read carefully. Please abide by these instructions. Your life and the lives of others will depend on your cooperation. Thank you for your attention, and we wish you an enjoyable time with us.
Welcome to the Sarawak State Library, one of the most unique libraries in the world that is surrounded by a park. Whether you are in need of learning materials, reference material, conducive learning environment, the free Wi-Fi, a recreational place for you and your family, or if you're a fitness junkie and looking for a place to jog or work out, the Sarawak State Library got that covered for you.
Hi, my name is Charlie. Let me introduce you to the Sarawak State Library. Other than the Sarawak State Library in Kuching, we have other branch which includes the Sarawak State Library Miri branch and the State Record Repository. The State Library houses a variety of collections which includes the main collection, the reference, the special collections, and electronic collections. The main collections include topics ranging from philosophy, religion, social sciences, languages, pure science, technology, art, literature, and history.
We do have 9
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. I'm Farhan Aini, your moderator for the 7th Salco 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome all the audiences to the 7th Sarawak Annual Librarians Colloquium Salco. Ladies and gentlemen, for your information, for these 2 days of Colloquium, we will have 8 participants or presenters in total, and for today's we will have 4 presenters joining this colloquium. For these webinar sessions, all the presenters will be presenting their paper for 20 minutes. This year's SALCO theme is Mainstreaming the Library and Information Services. Mainstreaming library and information services is a dynamic process that integrates these invaluable resources seamlessly into diverse community facets. Ladies and gentlemen, by transcending physical spaces and embracing digital realms, libraries become epicenters of knowledge accessible to all. This evolution ensures equitable access to information, empowering individuals with lifelong learning tools. Mainstreaming also fosters partnerships, collaborating with schools, businesses, and cultural institutions, amplifying their impact. As society's informational landscape evolves, libraries adapt, offering innovative services such as digital literacy programs, media creation spaces, and virtual reference assistance. Ladies and gentlemen, mainstreaming propels libraries from mere repositories to interactive hubs, enriching lives through the democratizations of knowledge. To begin this colloquium, we are pleased to have Yang Berbahagia Datuk Dr. Abang Haji Abdul Rauf Abang Haji Zain, Chairman, Board of Management, Sarawak State Library, to deliver the opening remarks.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, salam Sarawak maju makmur, salam Malaysia Madani. Esteemed speakers, librarians, colleagues, information community, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure and immense pride I take this opportunity today to extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you to the 7th Sarawak Annual Librarians Colloquium 2023. To delve into the pressing topic of mainstreaming library and information services in this digital age, I would like to take this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude to Dewan Bahasa dan Pustaka Sarawak, Dewan Bahasa dan Pustaka Sarawak, and Library Association of Malaysia, the Sarawak chapter, for working hands in hands with Pustaka in organizing this important event. Being a new appointed chairman of the Board of Management, Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, I could consider myself a very fortunate new kid on the block because I'm surrounded by all of you, which your knowledge and expertise in library have direct positive impact to the community. Though my chairmanship is new, nevertheless, library and information services are always close to my heart and always have significant influence in my day-to-day routines. Libraries have been the guardians of knowledge and information throughout history, preserving our collective wisdom for generations to come. In the face of the relentless advance of technology, we find ourselves at a pivotal moment, a moment where libraries must not only adapt, but also embrace change to remain relevant and indispensable in our rapidly evolving world. The problem of dwindling usage of libraries and their membership is a significant concern in many communities worldwide. Libraries have traditionally served as important centers for knowledge, education, and community engagement. But in recent years, they have faced challenges in maintaining their relevance and attracting users. I have been made to understand the public libraries in Malaysia are among the public libraries that bear the full brunt of this disturbing issue. Mainstreaming library and information services could be the recommendable solutions to address this issue. It connotes the understanding to the process of integrating these services seamlessly into everyday lives of individuals, communities, and institutions. The goal is to make libraries and information resources easily accessible and relevant to diverse users, ensuring that they remain valuable and essential in the digital age. Mainstreaming involves adapting to technological advancement, addressing user needs, and fostering information literacy and community engagement. What's the role of library and information center? Libraries and information centers are no longer confined to the physical realm of dusty shelves and printed books. Instead, they have metamorphosed into dynamic hubs of digital resources, offering a vast array of e-books, online databases, and interactive learning platforms. But our mission goes beyond mere digitization. It lies in the art of mainstreaming, in seamlessly integrating these invaluable services into the daily lives of our communities. The mainstreaming paradigm. What is the mainstreaming paradigm? Mainstreaming library and information services is not an option, it is a necessity. It requires us to be proactive in understanding the needs of our users and anticipating their expectations. It demands that we embrace cutting-edge technologies while remaining true to our core values and inclusivity, accessibility, and equity. Mainstreaming is about empowering our communities with the tools they need to thrive in an increasingly interconnected and information-driven world. What is inclusivity and accessibility? As guardians of knowledge, I believe you all librarians bear the prime responsibility of ensuring that our doors are open to all, regardless of age, background, or ability. Inclusivity means reaching out to marginalized communities and being a source of empowerment for those who need it most. We must embrace diversity, celebrate differences, and dismantle the barriers that hinder access to information. esteemed speakers, librarians, colleagues, and information community, ladies and gentlemen. Information literacy and digital citizenship. Note this, information literacy and digital citizenship. The digital landscape presents both opportunities and challenges. While information is more readily available than ever before, so too is misinformation. The role as librarian is to nurture information literacy, to instill critical thinking in our users, and to guide them through the labyrinth of data to discern fact from fiction. A society that can skillfully navigate this sea of information is one that can make informed decisions and foster progress. By educating users on evaluating sources, avoiding misinformation, and understanding digital footprint, libraries empower individuals to navigate the vast amount of information available online. Advocacy, partnership, and community engagement. I like this title, Advocacy, Partnership, and Community Engagement. Mainstreaming library and information services may require advocacy, efforts to raise awareness of the library's value and impact. We must go beyond the walls of our institution, forming strategic partnership with government agencies, educational institutions, and businesses can help amplify the library's influence and reach. By understanding the unique needs of each community and tailoring our services accordingly, we can establish ourselves as vital partners in their growth and development. Data privacy and ethics. As libraries and information services embrace digital technologies and data-driven services, safeguarding user privacy and adhering to ethical data practices become paramount. Libraries must maintain high standards in data collection, storage, and usage to build trust with their users. Lifelong learning culture and continuous support. Libraries should promote a culture of lifelong learning and offer continuous support to users. This may involve providing workshops, training sessions, and access to educational resources that cater to various age groups and learning levels. In conclusion, the path to mainstreaming library and information services is not without its challenges. We must navigate the complexities of technology, data privacy, and ever-changing user demands. However, I'm confident that with our collective passion, dedication, and commitment to lifelong learning, we can pave the way for libraries and information centers to remain beacons of knowledge, enlightenment, and progress. Let us seize this opportunity to come together, share our experiences, and inspire one another. Together, we will embrace the winds of change and propel our libraries and information centers to new heights of relevance and impact. Thank you, and may this 7th Annual Librarians Colloquium 2023 be a source of inspiration and innovation for us all. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Yang Berbahagia Datuk Chairman, for that wonderful remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, next, I would like to invite Dr. Ghazali Muhammad Fadzil, the President of Librarians Associations of Malaysia, to deliver his keynote address.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Good morning and salam sejahtera semua pada peserta. First of all, thank you very much for the PPM Kumpulan Negeri Sarawak for inviting me to be the keynote speaker in this year's Sarawak Annual Librarians Colloquium 2023. With the theme mainstreaming the library and information services. Yes, no doubt we have progressed so far, and in our progress, sometimes we need to check where we are, what our base, and all that. So we need to take time to look at ourselves. So that's the theme of my keynote speak today, and I'm going to share you guys my perspective, and allow me to do that using my slide. Okay. It is the change for us. But before whatever, change is the only thing that's constant in our life. And besides, we need to change because of impact of technology, of the society change, or whatever else. We need to have a base as well to how we move forward and what we put in place. As I always use the big picture in what we are doing today. So with this, let us discuss from this perspective. Firstly, we talk about the grassroots and the continuous development that we need to do for our stakeholder. Secondly, it's about development. Thirdly, the incisive perception that historically that we have developed about us, the society's perception about us that never seem to be going away. And fourth is about measures, where I think we need to start to put up a different measuring framework, how we value ourselves. And then I would like to touch a bit about our library and our community. Grassroots and continuous development, the first thing that we need to do is actually to really understand the real issue, needs and opportunities on the ground. I'm talking about every sectors of library. All of us have our own community and our own challenges and projects that we need to do, but without really understand the real needs on the ground, the real issue on the ground, and the opportunities that is. So it's hard for us to really improve and provide a good developmental and a good outcome for our stakeholders. That's why the emphasis on the real issue. For example, in my visit to libraries, I discovered certain things that real issue on the ground needs and a lot of opportunities. These are in various perspectives, yeah? And as I said, it is from the perspective of each library sector, no matter where you are, special libraries, academic libraries, Pustaka, public, whatnot, you need to really identify the real issue on the ground. And to a certain extent, this is what I'm doing in my visit also, trying to identify what are the issues that PPM can help to address, for example. What happened in the state, what happened in Pustaka, what happened in academic library and all that. First, of course, we need to understand, and then we can determine the real issue. Out of this issue, of course, there are needs that come up from our stakeholder. And those needs most of the time are opportunity for us actually to perform much, much better and to provide real outcome for our stakeholders. Don't forget that whatever we do, we are doing for our community. To me, libraries actually are in community development. So we need to understand our community, no matter who you are again, whether or not you are public libraries, academic libraries, special library, or whatever, you really need to understand your community. We used to use words like stakeholders, users, whatnot, but in totality, it is about community and how we put ourselves within the community and develop and help the community develop. So we need to understand it's about community development. Certainly, this is a question that a lot of people have been asking me about how do you need to improve the library or to bring in user to the library. But my question again is that, do we really know who are our users? Are they real user? And what are those non-user, the so-called non-user? Of course, statistically, for us, there's a lot more non-user, but do we know where they are? We know who they are and all that to a certain extent. I do not expect that all of us to understand data. Of course, if you understand data much, much better, but then you need to understand who are actually your users and all that. And you'll be surprised and all. Of course, I've discovered as well in our doing, in all that we have done, project, event, whatever works that we are doing currently, we actually work with somebody. This somebody is actually our partners, if you may, strategic partners. Okay, this helps us a lot. I used to use a lot of these phrases that our resources are global. A lot of these resources, the free resources, will come from our strategic partners. You name it. If you are in a public library, the public, maybe a certain agency, AJK Kampung, whatnot, would come and help us. And most of the time, they come us with certain resources, not including money, but beside money, there's some expert and whatnot. So those are the resources. So these partners are very important to us. I think all of you have been using and working with your partners, but that we don't really realize that they are actually our strategic partners that we can work with even more and develop the community together, So that's why they are important. And across the board, wherever I go, I see we cannot run away from collaborating. We need to collaborate the entire value chain. As I always say, vertically among libraries, all types of library, we need to collaborate. Also, we need collaboration across the board. Every sector where we need to cross. Do not think that when we are in Pustaka Desa, we don't have something to learn or contribute to academically, for example, because our perspective can be different. So I always say this, you cannot, to me, there's no term as best practice. It's always current practice. So if you adopt any best practice from any organization, you cannot take it 100%. So you have to customize it. When you do this, when you share knowledge, you have share perspective with others. This is what's going to happen to all of us. So we're going to trigger our mind to think differently and see maybe what I'm doing is a solution to my problem. And that solution could be tweaked, be done or implemented in different ways. So it's always customized. It's not 100% use of best practice or current practice. Yeah. So that's why it is important for us to continuously collaborate. Okay. If you look at the whole scheme of things, the community that we serve comprises maybe children, your senior citizen, if you're public library, of course, adults, AJK is what is kampung communities, and then agencies, many relevant agencies, academics, corporate, and so on and so forth. There's a lot more there. Okay, so all of these actually form part of your community, where the real issue needs actually occur. They are also your users, and a lot of them are your non-users. Definitely, most of them, some of them can be your strategic partner, and also you need to collaborate with them. So that's what I'm talking about. Apart from other things about from us, you really need to understand that what makeup of our community and understand them fully. Okay. If we understand this, if we fail to understand, so we need to understand certain things that I put up here, which is particularly, firstly, structural and human capital threat. Structural threat means that we need to be strong. Structurally, a library needs to be strong. We need to certainly push the agenda, because when we're strong, we can do a lot of things. Okay. Now, whatever the reason, whatever situation, some certain sector are being threatened by this structurally. Okay, we've been broken down and whatnot. So we need to understand that if we do not look at the needs, look at real need on the ground and trying to address the need of our community. Secondly, of course, apart from that threat is of course human capital threat. Human capital threat is about us. That's why we need to always look at the horizon and try to bring new change to us. As I said, the only things that constant is change. So we have to change against time. We cannot sit on our laurel and be comfortable with what we are doing. So we need to understand technology. We need to understand the need, constantly looking forward to how to improve ourselves. If we do not do that, then we fail ourselves, we fail our profession. For instance, now, open science is recognized to be one of the competency, functional competency that we should to acquire. What is open science, for example? Open science, there's different components of open science, like, for example, open access, open use of open resources, tool, and then you have citizen science and so on. So we need to understand those things. And to me, open science now today is another opportunity. For example, also for opportunity for new job market and opportunity for how we're going to capture and create knowledge for our community. There's a lot more, actually. The second threat possibly is the shrinking job market. I think we understand that. Okay, I think less than 10% of our new graduate going to work in the library sector. We have to recognize that. I know we have to look at, of course, new job market. As I mentioned earlier, open science could be one opportunity. The other opportunity, big area, is actually school libraries. Okay. Okay. The second part is development, which is very important for us. The first thing that I put there, mindset change. Why mindset change? We have to continue to change the paradigm. We used to be a common word before this to be paradigm change. And what does that mean? Actually, okay, we need to look at ourselves and change the way we think and look at certain perspective. Sometimes we just need to look differently, be different to understand what we're doing and the opportunities out there. That's why mindset change is very important. And the whole thing about my slide, my ucap tama today is about getting into that mindset, being progressive. What do you mean by progressive? Always thinking into new areas. Now with ChatGPT, for example, AI coming into our world. So how do we react to that? But the most important thing, do we understand those technology? First, we need to understand the technology. When we understand that technology, then now we can use effectively, objectively in whatever they do. It's again opportunity. Technology is like that. It always comes with new technology. The most important thing is for us to understand and adopt the technology within our work. Knowledgeable. There's no issue about this. The irony about us is that we are in the world of knowledge. Some of us are even not reading books, that. So it's easier to learn among us when we learn together. We share perspective, we have knowledge sharing session, all that. When we understand each other, then we become more knowledgeable. And I really encourage for all of us actually to do presentation and to write. The reason is this: when we share perspective, when we talk, actually all the lesson that we have learned, all the experience that we had actually come together in our speech or in our presentation, all that, and it makes more sense to us. It's a process of sense making. And then when you write, so it becomes better and better because you understand the perspective of what we're talking about. So that's why being knowledgeable means also we should be able not only to talk about, to do our work, actually to talk about our work, and also to write about our work. So that's another problem why that perception of being created by us because of certain things that we are not doing. Okay, that's why it is important that we are knowledgeable. Keep on reading, keep on learning, continuous learning, whatever it is. And the other important thing is, of course, being strategic in our thinking. What do you mean by being strategic? It is the state of being strategic. When what it means by being strategic is that when you look at things, you firstly can look things from bigger perspective. The bird eye view of the whole thing, helicopter view, or whatever the phrase that you're going to use. At least from the top, you can see how thing fits. For example, like what I'm using now, my slide using the change. So I try to map everything to get the different understanding. What's the big picture that we're talking about us now? So that's being strategic. And of course, once you share perspective, talk, discuss, think, and all that, reading, whatever, your strategic thinking will get better, definitely. And eventually, you'll be able to connect the dots. When you see things in perspective, and then with a good facts, knowledge, and whatnot, and you can see perspective better, and you can argue. Yeah, it's very important for us to have that perspective, and be strategic is one of them. In the whole part of this in development area is that at the end of the day, what we need is actually we need more thinking graduates for the School of Librarianship. What they need to progress along those lines. Actually, not only to develop that our new graduate to have good functional competencies, but also more and more we want them to be a thinking graduate. People they come up from the ITM, UTM, whatever it is, the library school, to come and think differently. Yeah? Not only differently because you want to be different, but of course you want to be more useful, more impactful for our community. Secondly, thinking librarian, all of us. Yeah, we need to start to push that barrier, and we need to push and to keep those barriers that avoid or prevent us from thinking differently. Yeah, that's why we need to start to communicate, to engage our stakeholders, our customer, our community better, because when we start doing that, we're going to start to push that barrier in our thinking process. Yeah, and eventually we're better in doing it. Leadership program is another area that we need to really concentrate and take into seriously, because this is the next generation. Okay, we need to continuously develop our leaders from the lowest level to the highest. Meaning to say, we should develop our leadership development is at a junior level, middle level, and a senior level. You have to have that. And you need to identify our potential leaders early so that we can develop each other. The reason that some of us going, for example, like now, IFLA, going presentation, talks, is because of that. It's a leadership development and preparing for the next level of seniors or leaders. Okay? And we should allow that. In order for us to do that, to achieve that, organization, library should create an environment to allow that to happen. That is another important thing. Okay? So, of course, with all that will come with continuous immersion and process. Naturally, if you are thinking librarian, when you look at perspective, and now even since I don't know when we have the innovation competition and all that, that should get us into a culture of innovation. Not a culture of competition, but a culture of innovation. We always continuously improve our processes, yeah, and improve the way we do things, you know. And this, of course, would continuously, if we do that, we continuously progress. Okay. I'm not going to mention about PL Learning Institute, but what Aspire to do, that we're going to, some part of us train ourselves to be a learning institute, providing like program, certificate program, and things like that. We are moving that. The other thing that I've seen is very important in terms of our development and also the development of our communities and stakeholders is actually information literacy. Across the board, from the young age to the senior age, I think that's one thing that we have to keep doing and improve and make sure this is within our society. Okay, there's already a lot of examples that I've seen that I encountered that I think people do not understand what information literacy is. And now, of course, we have more digital content literacy and technology literacy. So that's included in our information literacy agenda. So this one is important. Whatever you do for our communities, our stakeholders, we need to use information literacy as the base, as the base for us to do anything. We need to understand. We need to educate people and all that about information and information work. Okay, now let's move to what we are facing now, and still gradually I can not only hear, I can experience that perception, public perception about us. And first of all is the perception of librarians on PPM. Yeah, for instance, when we talk about PPM and join PPM or as a members and also join us in programs or helping to organize program like our last PTM 2023, the first that came to mind from our, especially the younger librarian, is always, what's in it for me? What's in it for me? We always ask, rewards, recognition before we want to do something. Whereas if you know, in terms of developing our profession, any profession at all, the first thing is we do not ask that kind of question because we know without having a good profession, we know there's no growth in our profession. When there's no growth, of course, then there'll be threats. Like I said just now, threat will come in various ways and all that. Will take us apart. And then let's watch already happening in the world of that way. So the management take us apart and use our resource for doing certain things. But if we do not understand what's happening, that's difficult. That's why gradually we need to avoid from this whatever we do, whether or not it's PPN. Of course, but being the profession, we should not be asking what's in it for me. So we not be asking that because our existence, actually as a profession, is actually would be enough incentive for us to come together to do whatever necessary. Yeah. The second thing is why? Why do I need to join or be a member of PPL? No need. I can still do a lot of things. These are the things is about, sometimes it's about numbers that matters. Yeah. For instance, if I were as a president to go to somebody, a stakeholder, the minister, whatever, and to say that we got to do this great thing and all that, we need to be part of this one, for example, school, all that. And then that stakeholder, the minister or somebody that we are talking to will say, hey guys, so how big is your organization? I mean, to my size and all that. If I were to say, okay, PPN, we have just, 1,000 members, what do you think the reaction of the stakeholder is? What do you think? I faced it before. So if they do not express that verbally right in front of you, their body language will say something like, yeah, you say a lot about even your membership is actually not that many. So how confident are you that you can do all these things? So in certain things, certain time, numbers matters. So it's not about why, no need, all that, but asking if you want to push the agenda, librarian, our profession agenda, moving forward, we need the numbers. No matter who you are, PPM Sarawak, PPM, we need the numbers to move forward. And we need to support each other. We need to collaborate with each other. That's why, please advise our colleagues, do not ask why, no need, whatever. So we need to be involved in all this because this is us. Of course, PPM is the perception and the perception about behavior is a job about providing workshop, conferences, and all that. No, it's not about that. The bigger part is this development, actually. What we do is developmental. In whatever we do, PPM will provide areas, avenue for us to develop everybody. Okay. In directly workshop conference, we develop you when you present, no? But indirectly, when we do all these things, when we organize things, we are providing opportunities for the young talents, you know, to come together to work, to understand, to create a better relationship, to understand each other and all that, and have to develop your leadership skill. So that's what PPM is. It's about developmental as well. A lot of our activity we do is we get people, as for example, the last PTPTM or even the previous PTPM, we get people to volunteer, to be involved in organizing all that. So in that work, the organizing PTPM, actually, we get the senior to mentor the junior. The junior will learn and progress. We work together. And this only proven for the last 3 years, last PTPTM and all that. So that's what we are doing. That's why you all need to be involved. Of course, the other perception is just about meetings. Again, meeting is about development as well. It's not just about meetings at the agenda. So firstly, we need to unlearn about how we do meetings. So what is meeting actually? So, as I will say, more than 2 hours is not meeting. You should rename that to another thing, discussion or whatever. Meetings, it has certain structure, I think what you need to do. So, yeah, our life is full of meetings. So if I will organize our meeting better, and then we can improve ourselves. So again, these are certain perceptions. I don't know what are the perception that we have created about PPM among us, but these are certainly the 4 that I've seen. I think we need to recognize this, and we need to nip it in the bud, say that, no, that's not it. Okay. Of course, the other thing is, bigger worry is about libraries and librarians, the perception of the public towards us. Okay. This is common. If I take anybody on the street, I have to ask somebody, can you describe the work of librarian? Most of them will say, susun buku, chop buku, and that. That's the worst. Of course, there are certain that clever now saying that you are managing knowledge or whatever, managing library. Okay. All right, that's good. But we need to improve that. As long as somebody still think the way I chop susun buku, then we are not in trouble, but whatever we do, we need to do a lot of change management first before we can do what we're supposed to do and achieve what's supposed to achieve. For instance, now, as I said, I've been visiting public libraries for Pustaka now. You know what's the perception of Pustaka to the masses? A lot of the perception is actually because the fact that we do a lot of activities even for the children, and the public think that Pustaka is a children library. That's the new perception that I've realized and that I found out. Okay, there's something that we need to change. The perception is because what we do. We create that perception because we do with what we do, and we do not create greater awareness, not just to explain, but in our work to share and to talk, to be more involved, to try to change that perception or bring new perception. Another perception is, of course, technology, ChatGPT and all that, we need to be fully digital, we do not physical library, which is totally wrong. I mean, the rest of the world is still building grand libraries. We need this virtual and physical environment. We definitely need in learning. Face-to-face communication is really important. Yeah. And meeting the minds is always important. It's not, you're not going to achieve that virtually in expect that you do not, because there are serendipity, there are relationship, there are connection, because we are in a world of creating connection as well, connecting people to people, minds, tacit knowledge, if you may, tacit knowledge and tacit knowledge, and of course to the information as well. So we are creating in a world of creating connection and all that. So that's why physical is still very important, and they need to coexist. So this is another perception, a wrong perception among our stakeholders, that we need to create a better understanding why we need to exist in a physical state, but mostly virtual. Because some of them, even in the academic sector, say, no, you do not need that bigger space. You're just storing book, whatever it is. So now, since the book are most virtual, even that, I think the thing that we need to correct is also about books and ebook. Look at the statistic of ebook publishing in the world. Look at the current statistic, number of ebook published and physical book. And look at, if you are in academic library, when the time that your student, that your user will use virtual resources, and when they are reading, what type of reading, what type of material are they using? Try to look at that and find that, and let me know. Okay. And the other statistic is, of course, the last International KL Book Fair, where 1.6 million Malaysia came visit the book fair and buy books, print, and a lot of long lines for people seeking to get the author's autograph, signature of the book. So that's another significant development that we need to understand. Yeah? So basically, really going back to the grassroots, understanding all these users, that's why we need to look and understand our community, our culture now. What are they reading? Are they really reading? Okay. What? So what we have to do, continuously awareness, advocacy work, CSR, that's why these two are important, and strategic public relation. So now we're beginning to understand why we need to do this. When we put what we do in certain perspective, then we understand why we're doing this. Yeah? Why we are doing program, why we're doing CSR, why we're going to develop this and do that. So in a bigger perspective, being strategic in our thinking, we understand now why we are doing something. All right. Now let me talk about our community, our profession. First, of course, we talk about PPM. First, PPM exists as Malayan Library Group, which exists since 1922, and the library as a group came together on June 6, 1955, as a Malayan Library Group, together with Singapore and all that at that point in time. So now you know why we are celebrating Hari Pustakaan or Pustakawan on June 6 every year. Okay, that's when we were born. And because of that MLG group that now became PPM, they actually developed our guy, and those in 1950 start to push the agenda to develop a library world. And because of the persatuan, because of PPM, the library group, then actually the reason why library profession exists in Malaysia and Singapore. Just imagine that. It is the reason why the profession exists in Singapore and Malaysia. Primarily, the Malayan Negeri Group actually pushed the agenda for the government to come with the Act, Akta, Pustaka Negara Malaysia, so on and so on, to cut this story short and become what it is today. So tell me, who are going to take this forward, if not us? Who are going to take our library profession agenda forward, make it stronger every time, if not us? So if somebody asks that question again, what's in it for me? My first answer is this: without PPM, there won't be any library profession in Malaysia, even in Singapore. Just think about that. Okay, last but not least, I'm going to think about measures. Measure here means measurement. I think it's timely for us now need to think about how do we measure ourselves? We need to bring a new framework how to measure ourselves effectively. We base our measures based primarily on numbers. There are improvement. There are organization library, like for example, Pustaka Sarawak use numbers differently, use number analytically, use number strategy. That's how you do it if you are using numbers. Other than that, most of us still using numbers as numbers. For example, we are reporting how many books, how many borrowings, how many circulation, how many new users, that. The numbers that can be challenged by our stakeholders. Second, if we scrutinize the numbers, I think there are things that we can improve, yes, definitely, but people or still can argue on. So we don't want that. So if you want to use number, it's nothing wrong to use number, but we need to use number strategically, doing analysis on the data that we have, the number that we want to provide meaning to the numbers. So we don't want to give numbers as a report when our stakeholders say, okay, so what? Yeah, so what about the numbers? So what? So we need to bring interpretation, the meaning to the numbers is better. The other important thing that I've seen is on the ground is actually impacts that we have created but not being measured or not in our report. These are called as social impact and economic impacts. Social impact can be social issue avoidance. The thing that we do, we have in libraries, we avoid from certain social issues to happen. For example, when we have children in the libraries, misplaced children in library, they are together, they are in a good environment. We are actually avoiding that for them doing something bad. Sure. So that's social issue avoidance. We bring new or user come to library, we teach them and give them knowledge or whatever, provide. We prevent them from being left behind. Yeah. So that's what it means by social impact. There's a lot of examples of social impact. I think we can have a conference on that actually. And the other part is economic impact. Sometimes we do not ask the next question. When we do event, program, on that, for example, as simple as cooking class, for example. So we never ask the next question. After the cooking class, we get the statistic and how many participants and all that. All those numbers we have that, but we never ask the next question. When we ask the next question, you get that surprise. For example, like cooking, for example, I met this. When I asked what happened after cooking class, what happened? So we have discovered actually what happened at the cooking class. Actually, these mothers, these ladies actually became entrepreneurs, selling cakes or whatever it is, even having a big kilang, making breads and whatnot. So this is not account in our report and all that. What I'm saying is, whatever we do, we always ask the next question, and that next question maybe has that major impact that we have created that we can share among all of us. So that's how the two perspectives that I look mainly in terms of how we want to measure ourselves. We need to look at different things. For example, our colleague in Indonesia, they already use social inclusion and develop, publish a report, social inclusion. That's how they measure themselves now. This is very impactful, I tell you. A lot of people want to hear the kind of impact that we have created, especially politicians. All right? Okay. I mentioned about social issue avoidance, economic as well, and also opportunities, like, for example, knowledge tourism. So we have a lot of assets. We collect our heritage of the local asset, be it whatever it is, but we just keep it as it is without developing into another product. Just imagine now with technology, we actually tell the whole world what we're good for. I'm very sure all the foreign tourists would like to come to Malaysia. They do not want to come to the KLCC to see the Twin Towers. go deep, especially, for example, Sarawak. They'll go deep to jungle to find the new experience and knowledge. So let's see if you have developed knowledge tourism, you get for your community to say to the whole, put in your website, your TikTok or any social media, and they're aware of that, definitely come. And then potentially can bring tourist dollar, tourist ringgit to Malaysia. And that create impact. And the community will grow because of tourists. For example, the community, they need to eat, they need a place to sleep, so your community grow. I have a very good example actually in my kampung. So this thing happening and this thing we need to realize now and put us in this perspective and see that if we put out a new parameters how to measure ourselves, the outcome that we created, I think we can go there. Yeah. Okay, I think I've spoken long enough as a chapter. I hope you understand, you can see where I'm coming from. At the end of the day, it's about us. It's about us really. And together we need to collaborate together because we have done so much. There's so much opportunity. Maybe some of which I do not manage to explore here, maybe in the end session, but there certainly is. I've seen enough in my visit to libraries that to say that I'm confident that we have a lot to contribute. We have a lot of opportunities as long as we understand the real issue. First, to address the issues, our issue on the ground, and then to look at the real issue for our stakeholders, our community, look at their needs and bring new perspective to what we're doing and really being impactful to our community. Okay, with that, ladies and gentlemen, fellow librarians, again, I would like to thank the PPM Kumpulan Sarawak for inviting me, for giving this ucap tama, and of course, we can progress together, definitely. I thank you, audience, for listening to me and be part of the Colloquium. And inshallah, I pray my dua for us to have a successful Colloquium, not only successful into organizing the most organization, but the most important thing is what we take back after the Colloquium. Be more progressive, be more involved in our discussion. Do not say that you don't have anything to share. You do. You have a lot to share. Trust me, you have a lot to share. To create that conversation among us, collaborate and knowledge sharing, and let us form a better profession, a better libraries for us to move and help our community, inshallah. With that, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And maybe I will see you physically face to face this year next year in Sarawak. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Gas, for the keynote address. Ladies and gentlemen, we will have a break and we'll be back for our first paper and speaker after this. See you later. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Now, without further ado, we will turn the time over to our first speaker. Mr. Adi Azri Muhammad holds a bachelor's degree in library management from University Technology Mara, UiTM. With nearly 15 years of experience as a librarian, he is now working as a librarian at UiTM Sarawak Mukah campus. He has served as a librarian at Swinburne University and a medical librarian at UiTM Sungai Buloh, Selangor. Without further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Adi Azri Muhammad to present his paper. Over to you, Mr. Adi.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good morning or good afternoon to all of you, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed participants, and distinguished guests. My name is Adi Azri bin Muhammad, and I am thrilled to be here today for Sarawak Annual Librarians Colloquium for the year of 2023. I am a librarian, and I'll be presenting all of my colleagues in Pustaka Tun Abdul Razak, UiTM Sarawak. Actually, myself, I am located in UiTM Campus Muka. Okay. The theme for this year is mainstreaming the library and information services. And because of the theme, and I tried to get some ideas on what to present. And then I came across the internet and have a little read about the terms of user-centric. What is more fun is without realizing, us as librarians do implement user-centric designs, or in short form is UCD. They're sometimes not in proper scale. Okay, we have been doing UCD all this while, but just not in full scale. So because of that, it becomes less effective when it comes to UCD for the library. And so today, I would like to discuss the importance of library and user-centered design. Before that, I would like to share my slides. Okay, this is the title for our paper today. Our title is Advancing User-Centered Design in the UiTM Library. This paper is co-written by myself and my fellow colleague of Abang Muhammad Farizan, consists of Abang Muhammad Farizan, J. Khairil Barom, and also Muhammad Ismail. Okay, this is the agenda that we will discuss for today. Okay, we have 6 agendas. First one is introduction. The second one, we will focus on user-centered design example, which has been implemented by UiTM. And then the third one, we will discuss key principles of user-centered design. Next, we will discuss about challenges and considerations before moving to conclusions, and also what is the future direction of user-centered design. Also in short form is UCD. Okay, first of all, I would like to explain what is library and user-centered design, UCD. Library user-centered design is a strategic methodology that tailors library services and spaces to patron needs. It doesn't mean that when it comes to UCD, it doesn't mean digital library services. It could be physical services as well as we can create spaces. But using UCD, it will be more focused towards a certain community or certain segments of users. Okay? By engaging users in design decisions, libraries create accessible, intuitive, and enriching environments. This approach enhances user experiences, promotes information discovery, and cultivates a sense of belonging within the library community. This is the process whereby we involve the user before making decisions. We will have a segment, we will divide them into a segment or category on type of user, on what type of user they are. Okay. So this is one example of UiTM Libraries User-Centered Design, UCD. Okay, a notable example of UCD implemented by UiTM is the creation of mobile apps, which is tailored to student needs. Okay, we do implement UiTM Libraries apps whereby the user can log in. I will show an example of the apps after this. Okay, this app offers intuitive navigation, personalized recommendations, and easy access to electronic resources. Okay, this UiTM Libraries app is created based on considering user feedback and preferences. The library maximizes convenience, promoting seamless information access and enhancing the overall learning experience. Okay, this is the mobile app that has been implemented by UiTM Library. Okay, it is freely accessible for all the UiTM community, which includes students, academic, administrative staff, all of them is able to log into mobile app UiTM library. Okay, this app allows the user to log in and have a personalized profile for their own preference, needs, and wants. Okay, let's say they want to search for some books, they can do it here. And also the dashboard will be personalized according to the category of them. Of course, there is a division between academics and students. Of course, academics will have more features since there are linking to another system, such as UiTM experts, whereby they can see what are their research profile inside their apps. Okay, next, we want to discuss the key principle of user-centered design. Okay, there is 5 key principles of user-centered design. The first one is user research. What is user research? The first step. User research is whereby we engage the users through survey, focus groups, and observations to uncover their needs, challenges, and aspirations. They can be done through survey, focus groups, and also a normal observations. The second one is persona development. This is a process whereby we create representative user profiles to inform design decisions and facilitate empathy with different user segments. Okay, could be a different user segments. Let's say for academic libraries, it can be academics, can be students, can be administrative staff. Let's say for public libraries, it can be divided into multiple segments, such as people who are living in urban areas, in rural areas, in mid-urban areas, and also you can divide it by age, maybe from teenager, child, and then adults, okay, older people or golden citizens. So we can create these user segments by using persona development. So the third step is information architecture. This is designing intuitive information structures that enable users to navigate resources effortlessly. The fourth one is prototyping and testing. Okay, this process includes developing prototypes of services, interfaces, or spaces, and testing them iteratively with users to gather feedback. Okay, and the last one is iterative design, continuously refining and enhancing design based on user feedback, leading to optimized solutions. Okay, when it comes to iterative design, the process doesn't end when we implement such services. Okay, it will continue on, and we will try to find where is the loophole of some services that has been implemented. That is the process inside iterative design. Okay, moving on to the first process, which is user research. This is a process whereby we gather insights and feedback from target users to inform the creation of products or services tailored to their needs. There is a few methods that we can implement. This is include interviews, surveys, and also observations, aiming to understand user behaviors, preferences, and pain points. Okay, of course, we want to understand user behaviors when we try to provide the services. Otherwise, it will not suit them perfectly. We want it to suit them perfectly according to their segments or the category of the user itself. And the next one is the open data guides design decisions, resulting in more effective and user-friendly solutions that enhance the overall user experience. So the main objective is in user research is user experience. We want to give them the best user experience. So whereby when they access to the library, certain library services that we implement, they would be able to use it repetitively. Otherwise, they will try to navigate themselves out of the process. So we don't want to have these certain users navigate away from library services because we want to give the best for them. Okay, moving to the next one. The next one is persona development. The second key principles of library user-centered design. This is the process we craft fictional but representative profiles of typical user based on research data. Then we embody user characteristic goals, behavior, and needs, helping designers empathize with and design for real users. Then design teams can better align their decisions and strategies with users' perspective. And the last one is to enhance the likelihood of creating products or services that genuinely resonate and fulfill user requirements. Okay, difference from user research. Persona development is whereby we develop, whereby the user segment has been categorized. Okay, then we create a persona development to achieve what they want, the goals, the behaviors, the needs. And this persona will be given to the design teams. And design teams can better align with the decisions and the strategies within the user perspective that has been provided from the user research that has been done. The next one is information architecture. Okay, what is information architecture in key principles of user-centered design? It is a process whereby we structure and organize information within a product or system to ensure easy navigation and comprehension for users. We encompasses creating logical hierarchies, categorizations, and labeling systems that reflecting user mental models. A well-designed information architecture enhances user experience by facilitating efficient access to content, reducing cognitive load, and promoting user engagement with the interface. Okay, after persona development, we already have the category of the user that we wanted to approach and implement the services for them. Then we move on to information architecture. This is where we design to create user experience by facilitating efficient access to content. Okay, we don't want the access, the content provided for them is not related to them. Let's say we want to let's say our focus group is engineering students. We cannot put medical subjects or sports science subject inside their personal profile or something that is not fit within their needs and wants. We want it to fit perfectly for them. That is when information architecture comes. Okay, the next one is prototyping and testing. Okay, prototyping and testing, whereby we design a prototype and we do a testing for the services that we wanted to provide. What is prototyping? This is a process we create simplified versions of product to visualize its functionality in design. Prototypes can be low fidelity sketches or high fidelity interactive models. Just like I mentioned earlier, when it comes to user-centered design, it doesn't necessarily mean it is a digital library services. It could be physical library services as well. And we can create prototype on physical service as well as we provide a prototype for digital library services. And then testing. When it comes to testing, we need to entail exposing these prototypes to actual users to gather feedback on usability and identifying areas for improvement. Just like when the first process, when it comes to testing, we need to go back towards the first process, whereby it is a user group. But when it comes to testing, we need to categorize three types of category of user. Three types of user category, which is supportive, open-minded, and hostile. Okay, why do we need to divide when it comes to testing three different types of user? Because we don't want to be biased towards certain type of users, because different people have different mentality. Okay, when it comes to, there is people that is very positive, and there is some people that we can consider hostile as well. And then there is a people within what do we say? They're considered as open-minded. Okay, they are between the lines. Okay, so they're open-minded towards any ideas. When it comes to hostile type of category, user category, when it comes to hostile category, most of the user is very negative towards changes. Also, we need this type of groups to be able to test the service that we want to provide. So we want to realize and acknowledge what are the loophole, what is actually this type of user wants. Okay. And then last one is iterative design. When it comes to it, sorry, when it comes to iterative design, this iterative design process involves continuous loop of designing, testing, gathering feedback, and refining to ensure that the final product is optimized for user satisfaction and usability. Okay, this approach minimizes the risk of developing a product that does not align with user expectation and maximizes the chances of creating a successful user and user-centric solution. So this is the table of iterative design. As you can see, the darker box is the actual process that I mentioned just now. Okay, the iterative design starts from feedback collection and then refinement. And then next design iteration, then we go back to prototyping again, user testing again, feedback and refinement again, progressive enhancement, completion and launch. After we complete and launch the services, we need to have a post-launch evaluation. That's what I say by iterative design is kind of looping processes, whereby we need to start the process all over again so that we can have a correct procedure and try to have the best one to be launched towards our end user. Okay, what is the challenges and considerations for UCD, user-centered design? There is 3 challenges and considerations for user-centered design. The first one is resource allocation. The second one is organizational culture. And the last one is diverse user needs. Okay, when it comes to resource allocations, of course, when it comes to a new services, we will have somehow there's a barrier when it comes to monetary aspect of it, especially when it comes to when we try to provide services that involve system or digital services. And then there's organizational culture. Of course, when we try to make some certain decisions, uh, we need to consider our main stakeholders, ideas, and prospect as well. So that's why we need to have a meeting point in certain aspects so that we can agree on certain library services that we wanted to provide. And then the last one is diverse user needs. Of course, we have a multiple type of users, like I mentioned just now. When it comes to public libraries, there is an older generation, there is younger people, there is teenager. All of them have a different personality. So when it comes to diverse user needs, uh, of course, when we want to provide some certain services, we don't want the services becomes too much. So otherwise, people do not know what to actually services that they wanted to use. So we need to make it minimized, but could fit perfectly for each category. So conclusion, user-centered design represents a transformative approach for libraries to engage with users, creating experiences that resonate with their expectations. By embracing UCD principles, UiTM Library can position itself as a dynamic, user-centric institution that serves as a vital resource for its academic community. Okay, when it comes to UCD, user-centered design, uh, it is a certain process whereby we have done it before as a librarian. We have done it before, but not in proper scale, especially when it comes to iterative design, the last process in key principle of user-centered design. If we implement user-centered design in a proper manner, in a proper scale, I believe that we can improve in mainstreaming our library services towards towards all of the audiences those all of the user category that we entertain. Okay, the last one is future directions of user-centered design. And the first one, I put three categories here for future directions of library and user-centered design. The first one is technology integrations. The second one is partnership, and the last one is inclusivity. Okay, when it comes to technology integration, we need to understand that we are evolving these days, and we as a librarians needs to equip ourselves with greater knowledge towards compared to what we have now. So we have a better understandings towards new technology. There is many technologies that's available in the market at the moment, whereby it poses a challenge for us. There is artificial intelligence. There is a lot in the market at the moment that produces challenges for us. So we need to be able to, instead of making this technology as an enemy, we need to make this technology as our friends. We need to somehow have a better connections to its new technology, so that we can have these technology integrations towards our future library services in the future. And the second one is partnerships. Of course, partnerships will benefit many people at the same times. So that's why partnerships will be very good for user-centered design for the future. And the last one is inclusivity. Okay, when it comes to inclusivity, we have different type of users. We need to make sure all of our users is involved with us in making decisions. Not exactly with us during the meeting when we are making decisions, but we have a better understandings towards multiple of activities, multiple programs that we can reach out to them to have a data from them, so it will benefit the library services that we wanted to provide. This is, of course, at the end of the day, the end user is the main focus of the library. Let it be the public library, let it be academic library. Our focus is always our end users. So that's why inclusivity is very, very important when it comes to library and user-centered designs. So we can have a better decisions in the future. So that's all from me. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
In an era where knowledge can bring so much joy to the world, where knowledge can be earned from the tip of your fingertips, Pustaka Negeri Sarawak aims to provide that necessity to the people of the far and near. With facilities that is equipped with the up-to-date technology, research and studies would be a breeze. Understanding the needs of the many, where knowledge seeking is crucial for the growth of the mind, we made it our ultimate goal to serve you the best knowledge center available. Outside our walls, we go and reach out to users and potential users in hard-to-reach areas. We'd go over and beyond by traveling to the suburbs to spread knowledge. To enlighten them through several knowledge activities via Pustaka's knowledge resources in our collection. Our responsibility to share latest technology and information. This way, we can ensure that the passion to seek knowledge never fades. It is our utmost mission to cater for and exceed the expected information needs of our users. For such noble cause, we study the profiles of our varied users to undermine their information requirements, get the needed information resources in whatever available formats, printed, non-print, or online, and match them with the requirements. We take the extra miles of informing users about our rich information resources and tell them step by step how to identify, select, retrieve, and use these resources. We want our users to be literate in information and knowledge. We want them to be our knowledge beneficiaries. As our priority to preserve the knowledge and our heritage collections, we are committed to provide the user with access for those special and unique collections at Sarawak. With the facilities for storage and repositories, we ensure all the collections and public records which are more than 25 years old, and other documents, papers, instruments, statutes and statutory order, regulations or decrees directed by State Secretary to be maintained, preserved and kept in the State Depository on account of their historical value or public importance. We are eager to expand by preserving the collections through legal deposits, donation, bequeath, oral history, and also transfer of public records for permanent preservation, regardless of its format and media. By creating standard bibliographic records, we will ensure the library resources or materials published in Sarawak can be accessed and will be preserved for future generations. We are going beyond boundaries in order to guide, advise and train all Sarawak government agencies with focus on the implementation of records and archives, management practices and standards thoroughly for Sarawak civil service. Researchers can use our facilities to do research on specific materials, whereby assistance is always available.
Having been here almost 20 over years as a user of Pustaka, it has been a very encouraging experience. Looking at the staff, how they operate this place, and for the past 20 years, this place is still in a very good shape, and it's even better now. So this is something that is very encouraging for us as user.
I think the best thing is that the library actually somehow in a small way that changed my life. First of all, I think the best is that I don't have to buy so many books, and then you don't have to search so far away, but you already can find it in the library. It makes my life easier. You can see, maybe you say reader is very confined to this, maybe very introvert, but actually the books make you more extrovert, meaning that you can actually connect with people better. Thank you very much, Pustaka Negeri Sarawak.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adi, for your presentations and sharing. Ladies and gentlemen, let's move to our second speaker. Mr. Muhammad Tarmizi Wahab holds a bachelor's degree in multimedia communications. He is now working at Perbadanan Perpustakaan Awam Negeri Perlis. Without further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Muhammad Tarmizi to present his paper. Over to you, Mr. Tarmizi.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. Terima kasih kepada Pustaka Negeri Sarawak kerana memberi peluang kepada saya untuk membentangkan satu kertas kerja yang bertajuk program KAIL. Program KAIL ini telah dilaksanakan di negeri Perlis mulai tahun 2019 dan pada awalnya dijangkakan akan berakhir pada tahun 2024. Program KAIL ini pada permulaannya idea adalah daripada satu penemuan oleh ahli lembaga pengarah Perbadanan Perpustakaan Awam Negeri Perlis, di mana dilihat terdapat berkurangnya pinjaman buku oleh pengguna di negeri Perlis. Berikutan daripada itu, Jawatankuasa Pembangunan Perpustakaan Desa Negeri Perlis telah berbincang dan akhirnya membuat cadangan untuk melaksanakan satu program yang dinamakan Book to You pada awalnya. Kemudian dibuat penambahbaikan, diubah kepada KAIL, iaitu Karung Ilmu. Jadi bermula daripada penghujung tahun 2019, bermula dengan 25 buah sekolah di seluruh negeri Perlis telah dilaksanakan program Book to You. Jadi program Book to You ini tujuannya ialah untuk, ataupun program KAIL bertujuan untuk meningkatkan kadar pinjaman buku di negeri Perlis, dan ia melibatkan perpustakaan desa di negeri Perlis dan juga guru perpustakaan dan media serta ibu bapa daripada golongan B40 ya, dan hasilnya ialah diharapkan 104 sekolah di seluruh negeri Perlis akan dapat mengikuti program KAIL ini. Ideanya ialah setiap sekolah yang terlibat akan mempunyai 10 pelajar yang dipilih daripada golongan B40, dan setiap pelajar ini akan menerima 10 buah buku untuk setiap 2 minggu. Bermaksud setiap bulan setiap pelajar akan menerima 20 buah buku. Sasarannya pada tahun 2020 kita akan libatkan 25 buah sekolah, dan sehingga akhirnya pada tahun 2024 100%, iaitu 104 buah sekolah akan terlibat dengan program ini. Bagi tujuan meningkatkan pinjaman, yang kita faham apabila pinjaman meningkat bermakna pengunjung di perpustakaan juga meningkat, keahlian juga meningkat. Ya, sasaran pinjaman kita pada tahun 2020 ialah 62,400 buah buku. Kemudian pada tahun 2021 115,200 buah buku, dan akhirnya pada tahun 2024 249 buah buku, 249,600 buah buku akan dipinjam oleh pelajar-pelajar dan juga ahli keluarga yang terlibat. Namun begitu, secara realitinya apabila negara dilanda COVID-19 dan berlakunya PKP1 mulai 18 Mac 2020, program ini tidak dapat dilaksanakan sepenuhnya pada 2020, 2021 dan 2022. Penghujung 2022, program KAIL ini diteruskan, namun hanya berhasil untuk dibuat pinjaman oleh pelajar sebanyak 14,400 sahaja buah buku, dan memandangkan ada kekangan COVID yang menyebabkan program ini tidak dapat dilaksanakan sepenuhnya, jadi program ini dilanjutkan sehingga tahun 2026 dan dijangkakan pada tahun 2026 104 buah sekolah di negeri Perlis akan terlibat sepenuhnya dengan program KAIL. Jadi bagaimana program KAIL? Program KAIL ini akan melibatkan komuniti dengan pihak sekolah dan juga perpustakaan. Setiap 2 minggu, kaki tangan perpustakaan akan membawa karung ilmu, iaitu sebuah beg yang mengandungi 10 buah buku dan dibawa ke sekolah di tempat yang telah pun dipersetujui oleh guru perpustakaan dan juga media, dan ibu bapa ataupun pelajar yang terlibat akan mengambil buku tersebut di tempat yang telah pun dipersetujui. Setiap 2 minggu akan diganti dengan buku yang barulah. Kesan positif ataupun impak positif kepada program ini ialah ia meningkatkan kadar pinjaman buku kepada komuniti setempat bagi golongan B40, merancangkan lagi promosi dan mewawarkan kempen galakan membaca dan dekad membaca kebangsaan 2021-2030. Program nilam di sekolah juga turut meningkat, dan juga jaringan kerjasama antara kaki tangan perpustakaan dan juga guru perpustakaan dan media sekolah juga turut meningkat. Jadi pelibatan utama dalam program ini ialah perpustakaan. Kalau di Perlis, kita libatkan terutamanya perpustakaan desa yang berada di seluruh negeri Perlis, sebanyak 35 perpustakaan. Perpustakaan akan menyediakan buku, menghantar buku, mengambil buku dan juga menyusun jadual. Menyusun jadual ni sesuai ataupun dibincangkan dengan guru. Ada hari yang sesuai, barulah ditetapkan jadual dengan ibu bapa, ya. Kalau di Perlis ditetapkan pada hari Rabu, namun begitu mengikut kesesuaian guru dan juga pegawai yang terlibat, boleh diubah pada hari yang lain. Bagi guru perpustakaan dan media, guru terbabit akan terlibat untuk memilih pelajar yang dikehendaki seramai 10 orang, berhubungan dengan ibu bapa, kenal pasti progres dalam program nilam. Bermaksud pelajar yang terlibat dengan kail akan juga dipantau dari segi program nilam dan juga menentukan tempat untuk serahan bahan. Bagi ibu bapa pula, mereka akan menerima 10 buah buku untuk setiap 2 minggu. Buku ini boleh dibaca oleh anak, ibu bapa, kaum keluarga, termasuklah nenek. Buku yang diterima perlu dibaca, menjaga buku dengan baik, perlu aktif. Memastikan anak aktif dengan program nilam di sekolah dan memastikan buku ini dipulangkan setiap 2 minggu. Dan juga menjaga beg yang disediakanlah karung ilmu itu dengan baik. Bagaimana program ini dilaksanakan? Program ini adalah program sukarela, tidak ada paksaan dan melibatkan guru perpustakaan media dan juga ibu bapa, dan taklimat akan diberikan kepada ibu bapa oleh guru dan taklimat kepada guru akan diberikan oleh pegawai daripada Perbadanan Perpustakaan Awam Negeri Perlis. Bagi tujuan pelaksanaan, program ini diwujudkan perbincangan WhatsApp group. Dalam WhatsApp group, kemudian setiap keluarga juga dibekalkan dengan 100 tajuk ataupun 100 judul buku. Daripada 100 judul ini, keluarga terbabit boleh memilih judul yang dikehendaki untuk permulaan, untuk 10 buah buku yang ingin dipilih. Jadi pegawai kita akan menyediakan buku yang dikehendaki. Bagaimana pilihan ini dibuat? Ibu bapa, guru dan juga pegawai akan berada dalam grup WhatsApp yang sama untuk perbincangan dan menyediakan bahan seperti yang dikehendaki. Dalam tempoh sebulan, pelajar terbabit akan dibekal ataupun keluarga terbabit akan dibekalkan dengan 20 buah buku. Jadi untuk tempoh 1 tahun, keluarga B40 tersebut akan dibekalkan dengan 240 buah buku. Bagi 104 buah sekolah bermakna 1,400 pelajar terbabit dengan program ini, dan sudah tentu ini memberikan kesan yang positif bagi keluarga B40 yang terlibat. Dan seterusnya ialah jalinan dan juga jaringan kerjasama di antara Perbadanan Perpustakaan Awam Negeri Perlis dan juga Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Perlis dan komuniti penduduk di Negeri Perlis meningkat dengan begitu baik. Dan ini menyebabkan komunikasi di kalangan kaki tangan perpustakaan dengan penduduk, dengan guru-guru menjadi lebih berkesan. Begitu juga keluarga terbabit sentiasa proaktif dengan aktiviti ataupun perbincangan di dalam grup WhatsApp dan juga aktiviti yang disediakan oleh pihak sekolah. Guru dan juga ibu bapa menjadi rujukan utama bagi pelajar yang terlibat dengan program ini. Selain kaki tangan yang terlibat juga menjadikan guru sebagai tempat rujukan sekiranya perlu melibatkan perbincangan dengan ibu bapa, dan setiap permasalahan yang timbul akan dibuat rujukan dengan pegawai-pegawai yang terlibat untuk menguruskan program KAIL ini bagi semua kawasan di seluruh negeri Perlis. Jadi bagi tujuan meningkatkan lagi pinjaman buku di negeri Perlis, program KAIL adalah program yang sangat tepat. Walaupun pada ketika ini teknologi baru AI dan juga media sosial dan juga buku-buku boleh dibaca melalui media sosial, namun begitu dengan sedikit penambahbaikan melalui program yang lebih kreatif, bahan yang menjadi aset yang begitu banyak ataupun aset yang terbanyak di perpustakaan, iaitu bahan bercetak, buku, kini boleh menjadi sumber pinjaman yang terbanyak bagi pembaca. Dan dengan program ini juga bukan sahaja pinjaman buku meningkat, tetapi keahlian perpustakaan juga meningkat. Jadi melalui program KAIL tidak timbul soal buku-buku tidak lagi dibaca ataupun buku-buku tidak lagi dipinjam oleh pengguna. Sudah tentu program ini memberi kesan yang sangat baik, dan akhirnya pada tahun 2022 program KAIL ini diangkat untuk dilaksanakan di peringkat kebangsaan oleh Perpustakaan Negara Malaysia dan dijenamakan melalui program Dariku Untukmu di seluruh negara. Kesimpulannya, program KAIL ini menyelesaikan kekurangan pengguna yang berkunjung ke perpustakaan dengan membawa bahan perpustakaan itu ke rumah. Okey, jadi pengunjung mungkin ada tempat berkurangan ke perpustakaan, tetapi dengan kaedah KAIL ini kita membawa bahan perpustakaan pergi ke rumah pengguna. Melalui kaedah ini bukan sahaja pinjaman bahan meningkat, jumlah keahlian juga turut dapat ditambah apabila setiap peserta perlu mendaftar sebagai ahli perpustakaan. Cabaran teknologi baru dan persekitaran sosial masa kini yang lebih mengutamakan aplikasi maya memang perlu didepani secara kreatif, namun dengan percambahan idea, bahan bercetak yang menjadi aset terbanyak di perpustakaan telah dapat memenuhi minat golongan sasar, iaitu B40. Jadi kita bawa bahan-bahan yang banyak di perpustakaan itu kepada golongan B40 dan akhirnya pinjaman kita meningkat dan juga keahlian perpustakaan juga meningkat dan menyelesaikan masalah ataupun isu yang dikatakan menjadi cabaran kepada perpustakaan pada masa kini. Terima kasih.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tarmizi, for your presentations and the sharings. Let's move to our third speaker. Ms. Shasha Aranta and Cross, born on September 30th, 1996 in Lunduk district of Sarawak. She is the eldest of the three siblings, holds a bachelor from University Technology Mara, UITM Rumbau, Negeri Sembilan in 2020, with a Bachelor of Information Science Honors Library Management. Currently serving as a facilitator for Pandey, People Accessible Network for Digital Empowerment and Inclusivity at the Sarawak State Library, Kuching. She also holds the positions of Treasurer for the Sarawak Group of the Malaysian Librarians Associations, PPMKSER 2022 until 2024 term. Without further ado, I would like to invite Ms. Shasha to present her paper. Over to you, Shasha.
Salam sejahtera and hello everyone. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Shasha Aransha Anak Mekros. I'm a facilitator Pandey at Sarawak State Library. So today for the Salco session, I'm going to share to you or present to you about the e-learning platform that we have at Sarawak State Library. So as you can see in the picture, this will be the platform that I'm going to talk about. So basically, I'm going to introduce to you about the platform, and also I'm going to teach you on how to use the platform. Alright, so this is a little bit about the e-learning platform. First of all, okay, PNS stands for Pustaka Negeri Sarawak. Pustaka is offering an online learning courses that promotes digital inclusivity awareness and skills among Sarawakian. Actually, this is in line with our project, one of our project called Pandey, stand for People Accessible Network, Digital Empowerment and Inclusivity. So, program Pandey is actually a program whereby us as a facilitator Pandey go to places to do talk to give digital literacy awareness. So, usually we go to places and then because we feel that there is a need for us to prepare a platform for the community to access to wherever they are at. It's mean that we want the community to be able to get access to the information that we're giving through home, by home, or using their own devices. That's why we are preparing this e-learning platform. We launched this e-learning platform. Okay, so currently the platform have 5 courses and anyone can access it for free. So, okay, now I'm going to teach you on how to access the e-learning platform. So basically, you just get on and open your search engine, any search engine that you're using or any web browser that you're familiar with. So in this example, I will be using Google. Okay, so you just go to Google and then you try to search for Open Learning Pustaka Negeri Sarawak. As you can see here, you just search for Open Learning Pustaka Negeri Sarawak and then it will appear like this. So usually it will appear the first in the first section. Then you will see there will be Open Learning and then it will be written as Pustaka Negeri Sarawak Open Learning. And then you can see that these are the courses that we have in the platform. So you just simply click here at the title. Okay, after you click on the link earlier, so it will bring you to the platform. This is the platform as you can see in the slide. Alright, so this is the interface of Pandey Open Learning Platform by Pustaka, and then there will be a little bit of description about overall about all the things that we'll be having, and then as you can see hasil apa yang anda akan belajar at down there, that will be the courses that you will be having in this platform. Okay. So these are the modules that we're having in the Open Learning platform. So basically we have 5 modules. The first one will be Program Pandai, Literacy Digital untuk Community, and then we have e-pelancongan, and then we have module Ibu Bapa sebagai rakan membaca, or well known as reading seats, and then we also have Sarawak Lestari, and the last one will be local content documentation. So you can choose any course to your liking and based on what you want to learn, and then you can just simply click on the picture or any wording on the courses that you want. Okay, for this time around, I'm gonna show you about Program Pandai because I'm choosing Program Pandai. Okay, after you click on the Program Pandai, okay, so this is the interface for Program Pandai. After you click on the Program Pandai, it will appear like this. So there will be a little bit overall description about what is Program Pandai actually. So each courses will have different description. Okay, so when you click into the Program Pandai, you will need to enroll yourself first. So as you can see in the red bracket here, alright, you can just simply click on join now. Click join now to enroll yourself. Okay, alright, to start with the courses, you will need to either sign up or log in first. So in my case, I would log in because I already have this account of Open Learning, but for new user you will need to sign up. But no worries, because the sign up the process is quite easy. So first of all, you will need to enter your email address and then create your password. For the password, there will be you need to mix capital letters, small letter, numbers, and also symbols for it to enable you to create your password. And then the third one will be your name. So I need to stress out here that I would suggest that you enter your full name, because the name that you write here will appear in your e-certificate. So for your information, our courses, all 5 courses, after you finish the course, they will automatically generate your e-certificate in PDF form. So the certificate is automatically generated by the system, so it will follow whatever name that you write in the beginning. So I would suggest that you put your full name. And then sometimes people ask us, can I sign up with Facebook? Because there's option that you can sign up with Facebook. Okay, so yes, the answer is yes, you can sign up with Facebook. However, we doesn't encourage our user to use Facebook, because the name that you're having in Facebook will appear in your e-certificate, and most of the time people will use nickname in their Facebook. Okay, so that's the reason why. But if you have your full name in your Facebook, then you're okay with it, then you can use Facebook, there's no problem. Okay, and then moving on, you will tick on the check boxes and then just simply click on get started. Okay, if you already have your account, then you can simply log in by using your email and your password. Alright, so these are the courses that we have. Okay, so I will show you one by one. The first one, we will be having Pandai. So Pandai is literacy digital for the community. Okay, digital literacy for the community. So these are the modules that we have in this course. Okay, each course have different modules, and then and then so here you can see we have pengenalan, and then we have pengurusan maklumat dan komunikasi, and then menggunakan inisiatif digital kerajaan. So you will be learning about the initiative given by our government. And then berurusan secara digital, keselamatan dalam talian, Pustaka in a box, and modul akhir. So, okay, if you notice here, at the end of each module, there will be indicators, okay, written completed 2 of 3, completed 1 of 7. What does this mean? So this means that in each of the module, you only completed 2 of 3. There's one more that you haven't complete. So for you to have the e-certificate, you will need to make sure that you completed all this module. Means that you will need to complete 3 of 3, 7 of 7, 8 of 8. Okay, so how to complete? You just simply open each of the module and then read it, understand it, and then maybe have some comment, give some comment, and then like some of the instruction in there. Okay, so and then at the top you will see there will be percentage. So in this example, the percentage will be 29% only. Means that the person only completed for 29%, so it's not completed yet. Okay, next we'll have program Pandai E-Pelancongan. So E-Pelancongan is about e-tourism. Okay, so we have kesedaran pelancongan, pelancongan bertanggungjawab, business events, program Duta Pelancongan Sarawak, and the penutup. So basically in here is about tourism. Okay, if you want to know more about tourism, then you can enroll yourself in this course. Okay, so here you can see that it also have indicators of how much you have completed and also your percentage of progress. Okay. Next will be modul Ibu Bapa sebagai rakan baca, reading seats. So reading seats is very famous at Pustaka actually, because the reading seats module, okay, you can claim the reading seats kit through this. So here's how. Okay, so here you will need to complete every modules. We have until module akhir, we have around 12, 13, 14 modules. So you will need to complete each of the modules, and then after you complete, they will give you the e-certificate that I told you about. Okay, as you can see in the slide at the right hand side, that will be the certificate that you're having. So for you to have the reading seats kit, you will need to bring this certificate to Pustaka along with your child card clinic. Okay, the red or the pink or the blue one, and then you can just come and claim your reading seats kit by using this. Okay. Okay, so the fourth one will be program Sarawak Lestari. So this one is in line with the SDG Sustainable Development Goals. Okay, so in this module you will be learning about pembangunan mampan Sarawak, bandar mampan, community mampan, penggunaan mampan, pengeluaran mampan. Okay, so moving on to the last module, the last course, it will be local content documentation. So this one is actually about how to take care of your files, paper records. Okay, so in here there will be the first one is the basics one. The basic one will be about information and information literacy, but bibliography and reference, writing research paper, using cloud storage, and then also using smartphone for video production. Usually we would suggest students that is furthering their study to use these courses. Alright, and then the content creation, and then in here you will be learning about oral history, oral presentation, poster presentation. Okay, alright, so those are 5 of the modules that the 5 of the courses that we have in the open learning. Okay, so for your information, the open learning will be changed into new platform by next year. It is called Pandai e-learning. So this will be a little sneak peek for you. There's a picture for you to look at. This will be our new e-learning platform. So this new e-learning platform is part of the initiative of Sarawak State Library and the state government for the development of an online learning platform in Sarawak, basically. So this platform is developed by Science and managed by Sarawak State Library. And then currently, facilitator Pandai are migrating the information from open learning to e-learning. and then it is still in the process, so it is expected to complete and can be utilized by next year. So you cannot get access to this e-learning platform yet, but if we are to launch it, we will announce it in our official social media. All right, so stay tuned. Okay, so that will be all from me. I hope that you understand about this e-learning platform that we are giving for the community, especially people of Sarawak. So if you have any any question, or you want to know more about the open learning, please do contact me. Okay, so again, my name is Shasha Aransha Nakmekros. I'm a facilitator pandai at Sarawak State Library. So you can call the office number and ask for me, or you can simply email me. So this is my email, shashaaransha.pandai@gmail.com. So that will be all from me. All right, have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shasha, for your presentations and the sharing. Let's move to our last speaker for today, Mr. Raifuddin Abdul Latif. He is a librarian of Perbadanan Perpustakaan Awam Negeri Melaka. Without further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Raifuddin to present a paper. Over to you, sir.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Terima kasih kepada moderator. Saya Raifuddin bin Abdul Latif dari Perbadanan Perpustakaan Awam Melaka Perpustam, terlebih dahulu merakamkan ucapan terima kasih kepada pihak Pustaka Negeri Sarawak di atas ruang dan peluang yang diberikan kepada Perbadanan Perpustakaan Awam Melaka untuk menyertai sesi pembentangan atau sesi perkongsian maklumat dalam Sarawak Annual Librarian Colloquium bagi tahun 2023 ini. Saya diberi amanah untuk membentangkan atau berkongsi satu kertas kerja dalam usaha Perpustam untuk terus menyemarakkan budaya membaca di kalangan masyarakat di negeri Melaka, iaitu menggarap kolaborasi menyemai budaya membaca. Kolaborasi yang ingin saya tekankan di sini bukanlah kolaborasi untuk mengadakan program, aktiviti gerakan membaca dan sebagainya. Tetapi kolaborasi yang kita jalankan ini adalah satu kerjasama dengan pihak luar bagi mewujudkan perpustakaan, bilik bacaan, sudut bacaan dan sebagainya. Jadi sebelum saya berkongsi lebih lanjut tentang kolaborasi yang dijalankan oleh pihak Perpustakaan Negeri Melaka, izinkan saya bercerita sikit tentang latar belakang Perbadanan Perpustakaan Awam Melaka. Okay, berikut adalah sejarah perkembangan penubuhan Perpustakaan Awam Melaka. Perpustakaan Negeri Melaka mula ditubuhkan pada tahun 1881 dan ia melalui satu garis masa yang agak lama dan yang panjang sehinggalah ke tahun 1996 Perpustakaan Negeri Melaka mempunyai bangunan sendiri iaitu Perpustakaan Negeri yang ditempatkan di Bukit Baru Melaka dan bangunan Perpustakaan Negeri sekarang kekal sehingga sekarang. Perpustakaan Awam Negeri Melaka kini telah mempunyai 67 buah rangkaian perpustakaan yang meliputi sebuah perpustakaan negeri, 4 buah perpustakaan cawangan, 2 buah perpustakaan komuniti, 2 buah perpustakaan pekan, 26 buah perpustakaan desa perpustam, 28 buah desa perpustakaan negara Malaysia, 2 bas bergerak buku dan 2 bas bergerak pustaka digital. Berikut adalah taburan rangkaian perpustakaan yang terdapat di Negeri Melaka mengikut Parlimen dan Dewan Undangan yang terdapat di Negeri Melaka. Ini adalah Perpustakaan Negeri, Cawangan dan Komuniti. Ini adalah taburan perpustakaan desa di bawah sekalian Perpustakaan Awam Melaka. Ini adalah perpustakaan desa di bawah Perpustakaan Negara Malaysia. Ini adalah bas bergerak buku, kita ada 2 dan juga bas bergerak pustaka digital pun juga ada 2 yang masih memberikan perkhidmatan di seluruh negeri Melaka. Okey, saya akan ceritakan sikit tentang projek kerjasama atau projek kolaborasi yang kita jalankan. Seperti di gambar, ini adalah projek kolaborasi kita yang pertama lah. Ini kerana bertitik tolak sejak tahun 2018, apatah lagi berlaku sedikit kekangan kewangan, ketiadaan tanah, ketiadaan bangunan yang sesuai untuk dijadikan perpustakaan untuk diambil alih oleh pihak Perpustakaan Awam Negeri Melaka. Jadi pihak Perpustakaan Awam Negeri Melaka berkolaborasi dengan beberapa pihak untuk kita mengadakan atau mewujudkan perpustakaan. Dan alhamdulillah pihak Melaka Central iaitu sebuah syarikat yang menguruskan terminal bas di Negeri Melaka sedia berkolaborasi dengan pihak perpustakaan untuk mewujudkan sebuah perpustakaan untuk dinikmati oleh golongan masyarakat di Negeri Melaka. Pihak Melaka Central memberikan kerjasama yang baik dengan memberikan satu ruang kepada perpustakaan yang mana ruang tu sebenarnya adalah untuk sewaan kepada gerai-gerai jualan, tetapi pihak Melaka Central sedia mengenepikan keuntungan bagi memberikan khidmat sosial kepada masyarakat dalam menyemai budaya membaca. Dan ternyata kolaborasi ini sangat berbaloi, sangat menguntungkan kerana perpustakaan terbuka ini mendapat sambutan yang baik di kalangan masyarakat kerana ia berada di satu tempat yang agak strategik iaitu tempat menunggu sementara orang nak naik bas dan sebagainya. Jadi tempat atau perpustakaan ini sangat-sangat strategik dan sangat-sangat mendapat sambutan yang baik. Mengorak langkah itu, Perpustam atau Perpustakaan Awam Negeri Melaka terus mencari pihak untuk berkolaborasi dan kali ini Perpustakaan Awam Negeri Melaka berkolaborasi dengan pihak masjid untuk mewujudkan sebuah perpustakaan terbuka. Dan alhamdulillah kerjasama yang baik juga kita telah perolehi daripada pihak masjid yang mana pihak masjid sudi menyediakan satu ruang ada juga pihak masjid yang menyediakan bilik dan sebagainya berserta dengan kelengkapan dan peralatan. Kalau kita lihat di gambar ini adalah perpustakaan terbuka pertama di masjid yang dijalankan kolaborasi bersama pihak perpustakaan, yang mana pihak masjid telah menyediakan kelengkapan seperti rak buku di belakang tu, juga meja bacaan, kerusi dan sebagainya. Dan pihak Perpustakaan Negeri Melaka hanya menyediakan bahan bacaan sahaja. Dan seakan Masjid Alami ini adalah masjid pertama dan sangat-sangat berjaya dari segi wujudkan perpustakaan ini. Jadi dengan kejayaan kita bekerjasama dengan pihak Masjid Alami ini, pihak Perpustakaan Awam Melaka terus murat langkah untuk bekerjasama dengan lebih banyak masjid dan akhirnya kita juga telah berjaya mewujudkan beberapa lagi buah perpustakaan masjid, iaitu pada tahun 2019 kita telah mewujudkan perpustakaan di Masjid Cina Negeri Melaka, iaitu masjid pelancongan yang terdapat di Negeri Melaka yang berkonsepkan seni bina Cina. Kita juga telah bekerjasama dengan Masjid Nur Janatul Bahri Tanjung Bidara Masjid Tanah Melaka. Kita Perpustakaan Awam Negeri Melaka sebolehnya kita akan cuba masuk ke masjid-masjid yang berlainan daerah lah, agar semua golongan masyarakat mendapat impak daripada kewujudan perpustakaan kita ini. Ini daerah di Masjid Tanah. Kita juga telah membuka sebuah perpustakaan terbuka di daerah Alur Gajah, iaitu Masjid Ar-Rashidin, daerah Alur Gajah pada tahun 2022. Dan selain daripada masjid juga, kita telah berjaya bekerjasama dengan pihak komuniti untuk mewujudkan sebuah perpustakaan terbuka, iaitu kita berjaya membuka sebuah community hub Pangsapuri Murajaya di Durian Tunggal. Ini adalah sebuah kontena yang dibuat menjadi ruang perpustakaan dan ditempatkan di bawah Pangsapuri tersebut. Kita juga tidak ketinggalan dalam menyantuni golongan marginal ataupun golongan terpinggir dalam kolaborasi ini. Dan pihak Perpustakaan Negeri Melaka telah bekerjasama dengan Jabatan Penjara Melaka melalui Sekolah Negeri untuk mewujudkan sebuah perpustakaan di Sekolah Negeri. Dan selepas itu kita juga telah bekerjasama dengan pihak Sekolah Tunas Bakti, iaitu sebuah sekolah yang sekolah akhlak di Negeri Melaka yang menempatkan pelajar-pelajar yang bermasalah juga kita santuni dengan menyediakan perpustakaan untuk golongan ini yang tidak mempunyai ruang atau akses kepada perpustakaan awam di luar. Dan pada tahun 2023 ini juga Persaudaraan Perpustakaan Awam Melaka terus mengorak langkah untuk berkolaborasi dengan pelbagai pihak untuk kita adakan perpustakaan atau mewujudkan sudut bacaan. Dan insyaAllah pada tahun ini kita akan bekerjasama dengan Jabatan Kemas untuk sebuah pusat sumber kemas alai. Kita juga bekerjasama dengan Rumah Kasih Tun Abdul Aziz, iaitu sebuah rumah jagaan kanak-kanak daripada bayi hingga 18 tahun. Dan juga Asrama Akhlak Bukit Baru, Masjid Selat, sebuah lagi masjid yang kita akan buka perpustakaan pada tahun 2023 ini. Bilik Bacaan Taman Mawar, Kompleks Japurun Kuala Linggi, iaitu sebuah pejabat wakil rakyat yang kita berjaya bekerjasama juga pada tahun ini. Dan semua usaha ini kita jalankan bagi memastikan perpustakaan terus relevan di kalangan masyarakat dan budaya membaca terus subur melalui sumber bahan bacaan yang disediakan. Dan insya-Allah Perpustakaan Awam Negeri Melaka akan terus berkolaborasi dengan seramai mana pihak demi menyemai budaya membaca di kalangan masyarakat dan memastikan sasaran untuk menjadikan Malaysia sebagai sebuah negara membaca menjelang tahun 2030 tercapai. Dan saya rasa itu saja sedikit perkongsian ringkas daripada saya. Dan saya sekali lagi merakamkan ucapan terima kasih kepada pihak Pustaka Negeri Sarawak di atas peluang ini, dan semoga kita berjumpa lagi pada sesi yang akan datang. Sekian, terima kasih.
Thank you very much, Mr. Raifuddin, for your presentations and the sharing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of our day one of 7th SALCO 2023. Thank you, everyone. I'm thankful to all guests and participants to this event. We appreciate you being here. Thanks again for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you on the next day and the last day for our SALCO tomorrow. I'm Farhan Aini. Assalamualaikum and have a nice day.
Tersergam indah megah, menjadi kebanggaan kita, bukti wawasan dicita, maklumat dan pengetahuan, penuh terhimpun harta ilmu untuk kita teroka. Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, wadah ilmu untuk semua, bersama kita manfaatkannya. Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, berteknologi dan berusaha, berkhidmat ikhlas untuk kita. Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, tersergam indah megah, menjadi kebanggaan kita, bukti wawasan dicita, maklumat dan pengetahuan, penuh terhimpun harta ilmu untuk kita taroka. Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, wadah ilmu untuk semua, bersama kita manfaatkannya. Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, berteknologi dan berusaha, berkhidmat ikhlas untuk kita. Pustaka Negeri Sarawak.